guys, welcome back. So, when do you end shooting for the day? When do you stop? Well, these sessions, these sets that I'm showing you here, come at the end of a day's shooting. And wasn't a bad session. I think I had about 5 sessions this day, each with about 25 sets. Now, if you watch this set, the arrows are grouping quite well. And generally, as long as I'm shooting sub 5-inch groups, I will continue to shoot. And as you can see by this set, that's exactly what I'm doing, sub 5-inch groups. Now that's not to say that that's ideal, because these arrows at this range are capable of 2-inch groups, 2 to 3-inch groups, but as long as they're under 5 inches, I'm happy. We'll ignore the flyer. By this stage, it's early evening, and I will admit I am getting a little bit tired. Like I said, this is, I think, the 5th session of the day, and if you look, there's a little bit of inconsistency creeping in, which is to do with my string release more than anything else, which is affecting slightly the angles at which the arrows are impacting, but I'm still shooting a sub 5-inch group, so I will continue. So as you can see, the grouping is quite good, but again the angle of the impacts are slightly off each time. That's because my string release is getting a little bit less consistent with each shot, but it's still a sub 5-inch group, so keep going. However, this last one is a bit of a flyer, but it's close enough. So the last one's a bit of a flyer, but it's not too bad. Now as I'm walking back to the target, I don't know what I've achieved in terms of groups. It's not until I get to about here, where I'm practically on top of the target itself, and I can actually feel the arrows, that I know how well I've done. I think this was the second to last end, and this is where things really start to go wrong. The second arrow, if you look at it, is a result of a really bad string release, which I knew as soon as I'd loosed the arrow that it was wrong. Now I'm starting to think maybe it's getting close to that time of the day where I stop shooting. Again, you see another inconsistent string release. The grouping isn't too bad, but I am starting to realise I'm tired and my consistency is going. And there we see another flyer. Now as you can see with this end, again, the grouping is not too bad apart from that flyer. Always ignore flyers. But the grouping is not bad, but if you look at the angle of the arrows, that's indicative of a poor string release. As I'm pulling the arrows, I'm still quite pleased with the grouping, so I'm not thinking about stopping just yet. And as usual, just ignore the fly, because they happen. It's the main group that counts. Now I remember with this end that I was actually starting to fumble a little bit in terms of getting the arrow on the string, and it was getting a little bit harder to align myself as well. So I'm starting to feel tired and starting to think about, what I'm doing, which is fatal. And when you start to fumble and drop arrows, you definitely need to start thinking, well, okay, maybe I've done enough for today. Now, if you watch this end, you'll see consistency has just gone out of the window. Arrows are all over the place. String release is terrible. So it's definitely time to start thinking about calling it a day. It's been a good day, but enough is enough. The danger is, if you don't stop, you will start to compound your mistakes and train in errors, which is never good. Always avoid that. Hope you found that interesting. Stay safe, keep slinging the sticks. We will talk again soon. Cheers, guys.